Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A, and it is time for August faves and flops. And yes, I still have some, even though only a couple of weeks ago I had some mid-month faves and flops. Lots has gone on. Before I start, I just wanted to mention a couple of things. One is that some of my comrades here on the beauty YouTube community are going through some unusual and rough times, and I would love it if you don't know yet about these things, if you could maybe show some support to their channels and to them. The first I would have to say would be Jen Phelps. She's a younger YouTuber. She's from Connecticut here like I am, and she has she can trace it back to not wearing a hat and being under very hot sun and getting sunburns on her scalp when she was in the Bahamas with her husband. And anyway, she's had trouble with her scalp, and when she went in for tests, they found out that she had skin cancer, and it was a controllable level, and she just went in recently for surgery on her scalp for that. So if you can, I will just put something right here about her. The other person is a sweetheart, absolutely amazingly wonderful, beautiful, lovely person, Melissa 55. She is down in Tennessee, and she started her channel a little bit after I started mine, so she's been long-term on YouTube. She's just the sweetest, nicest, most generous person, and she just got a diagnosis from the doctor that she has breast cancer. Now she's in a level now where she can go through treatments, and I'm sure everything's going to be fine, but I would love it if you could go over and show her some love and support. And especially if you have been through cancer treatments, it would be really supportive of you to give her some good advice, or some hope for the situation. Also too, Mary from GLITZY FRITZY, going through some medical things, and again, she's just had, she's had a banner year with the launch of her palette, the Blessed palette, and that is with Sydney Grace. And you can show support and love for her by visiting her as well. And I love these people. They're like my friends. I've never met any of them, but I have emailed with them, I've messaged with them, and we're all one big family here on YouTube, the beauty community, especially the over 50 beauty community. We're kind of, we talk behind the scenes sometimes, and there's no animosity, and we're not competitive. I mean, sure, there's some favorites, there's some personalities, and I always think that I watch channels a lot of times because they're people I like to hang out with. Like I feel like I'm hanging out with them for that 20 minutes or half hour. In my case, an hour. That's devotion. Actually, you probably fast forward me, and you look for the text above on what I'm talking about, and if it's something you're interested in, you stop, but you probably miss most of my banter. Anyway, so let's get going on these. And I think the first thing, people ask me about the skincare a lot because I am 65 and my skin has gotten in better shape over the last 10 years. And so I just wanted to go over some of the things I use. This is the Sunny Isle castor oil, and this is the extra dark version. I got this in Target. You can get this on Amazon or any store. But castor oil was mentioned, and I'm going to show you I have like sun damaged décolleté. somebody said on Facebook I'm in a group called Fabulous Women Over 60 or Makeup something or other, and she said she put castor oil on her décolleté and it really repaired a lot of the skin damage that she had in that area. So I've just been doing it now for about 2 weeks, so I don't know. I mean, it looks moisturized and healthier, but I mean, it hasn't like changed the damage or anything yet. But I just thought I would mention that. Castor oil is an amazing ingredient. It seems to have a lot of skincare properties to it. I also have to mention Lumi. I use the body wash. It's almost gone now. This is the acidified body wash from Lumi. Again, you can get this in Target or you can get it on Amazon or on the Lumi site. Sometimes they run specials. They may have one this Labor Day. This particular flavor is clean tangerine. It doesn't really smell like orangey tangerine though. It's a little florally. Some of their scents, you know, you really have to like that scent. They do have an unscented version, but the body wash I really like. This is something that you would put in those areas that have a lot of bacteria in them. How's that for diplomacy? Yeah, you know, the nether regions, under the arms, under the breasts, the belly button area, you know, bikini and below. This was developed by a obstetrician for her patients to help them feel more comfortable and fresh when they were out visiting. The concept of this is that it kills the bacteria that creates the odors. So it's, you know, it's good in that, especially in summertime when we're perspiring a lot, we're in humidity a lot, and we can tend to, you know, the sweating can cause an odor. It can react with your clothing or with just about anything and create odors. Well, this kills the bacteria that creates odors. So Lumi, this is the body wash, and I also use the deodorant. This is a cream deodorant. I think a stick deodorant is easier to use under the arms, but this is good for like under the breasts or, you know, those other regions. Again, this is so awkward. You can even use this on your feet. So I really like the Lumi products and I do use them. After a shower, I have been really enjoying, this is from Walgreens, this is their Crepe Therapy Lotion. Now this is supposed to be the drugstore version of the Gold Bond Crepe Corrector. And what it is it's a super duper moisturizer. If you have like those scaly fish arms, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you who haven't know what I'm talking about. Wrinkly, cracky, fish scaly looking arms. You put some of this stuff on there and it just hydrates it so nicely. You don't have that look of scaliness. So any place where you have that, it's usually the arm area I find, and the hands. Your hands can look like crap, and this takes care of that. So I do wholeheartedly recommend that. For the rest of my body, this is the Ambi Cream Oil Body Lotion, and I really have enjoyed that. I haven't had any dry skin this whole summer. I usually have problems with dry skin patches on my lower legs and on my arms, my upper arms. I have not had that this summer at all, and I've been using this. I'll be using this into the winter because I think the Ambi, I don't know if it's coming through. I can't really see very well. I can kind of see a little bit of a screen from my camera, but I can't see exactly what you see. I just know that I'm in frame. It's just this blob in the middle with blonde hair. Cream Oil Body Lotion from Ambi, and this is old school. It works. It's nice. You don't get reactions. I don't believe it doesn't really have a smell. So this is a wonderful body lotion. Did anybody go see Barbie? If you haven't, it's really cute. I know a lot of people are just waiting for it to go on to streaming. You know, I don't know. It's worth it, you know, to buy it if you have to pay a couple of bucks to watch it. It is so cute. And, you know, a lot of people are jumping on the Barbie thing. This is the Revlon and Barbie. These are the nail files. And there's two designs that come in. Oh. Yeah. I was looking for a deeper shade to wear for autumn, and I happened to see this in the Wet n Wild section, and this is the Fast AF Dry. And this is a nail polish that dries, supposed to be 40 seconds to dry and then 2 weeks of wear. And I'll be danged, it took longer than 40 seconds to dry completely, and I put a second coat on. So I would say it takes about 2 minutes to dry completely, and it did stay. It did stay. About a week and a half, I took it off to put this on, but this did last about a week and a half with no chips, no problems, and it looked just as nice as when I applied it. The only thing I will say about it is that there's a slightly duller finish to it that I'm happy with, so I think the next time I use it, I'm going to put a clear gloss coat over the top of it, because it's a beautiful color, it stays, but it's not quite glossy enough. But this is the Wet n Wild, and I think it's only like $3. It's better than any of the other drugstore nail polishes as far as longevity, chip resistance. They had a pretty good color grouping in there. I just got this just on a whim. I didn't get other colors, and I think I'm going to try a lighter shade to see if the lighter shade looks as good, because this is just terrific. Sally Hansen, this is the Double Duty, and I was just talking about it. But you can put this down as a base coat and then put it over again as a top coat, the Double Duty from Sally Hansen, and so I'm going to use it with that other one. I'm not really a nail person, and I'm lazy, and I love these nail tabs. Now these came out at Dollar Tree for autumn. Aren't they cute? And you know, they're not as good as the Dashing Divas. You can find the Dashing Divas in TJ Maxx. In fact, these were. They're about half the price as they are in the drugstore. So these are nice. I don't think they're as nice as the Dashing Divas, and I don't think the Dashing Divas are as nice as the Color Street brand. But the Color Street ones cost like $17, $18 for a package, and I'm cheap. I'm just a cheapskate. And if I can find, like, Dashing Diva to me is passable quality, a nice variety, easy accessibility. I don't have to buy it from somebody else, and I don't have to overpay for it. So I think that's kind of like, you know, it's like an MLM, you know, and Color Street is now doing makeup. And there are some of my friends on here who sell Color Street products, and it's like Mary Kay, you know, I'm looking at it like it's like a Mary Kay thing, you know. Yes, some of the stuff is good quality, but like you're paying more because people got to get some commission out of it. So I just don't support that. So the Dashing Diva, I recommend if you get it in TJ Maxx, and right now in TJ Maxx too, they have these adorable Halloween stick-on nails, and also the nail tabs, the nail wraps as they call them. So, and then these again, you know, from the Dollar Tree, these are $1.25. It is like putting electric tape on your fingers. It's not the same quality as this for sure. But if you need something in a hurry, they will last you through the evening, maybe a day or two. But these aren't, the longevity on these isn't that good. They get scratched and dented, and they pull up easily. So, but you know, speaking of nails, thought I'd throw that in there. For face primer, Embryolisse. This is what they recommended in my online makeup academy. I think my teachers have given up on me because I just have not done my homework at all in like 3 months. I'm so embarrassed. If I was in a real classroom and I walked in and showed them I wasn't doing any homework, I would be, you know, I'd have a circle drawn on the blackboard and have to stick my nose in it. You know? It's like, I'm really naughty in my class. I'm not a good student, okay? I'm just not a good student. I've got too many things going on. It's kind of an ADHD world for me right now. But I do like this, the Latte Creme Concentrate. This is a really nice all-over face base. It's moisturizing. It helps fill in a little bit on the lines. It's not a line filler by any means. It's not a pore filler by any means. But it does give you a little bit of a coating so that your makeup goes on smoother and nicer. So I do like the Embryolisse. They just changed their packaging recently, I noticed. Two concealers, well, three concealers I've been using. I'm going to do the Doll 10 concealer. I love that it's cold, but when you squeeze it out you get way too much. You get this big blob, and when you smooth it out it does dry very quickly and patchy. So I've got to say that, you know, it's got that wonderful metal tip, so it goes on so nice and cool. And I tell you, on some of these really warm summer days, this has been such a pleasant thing to use. But you really have to squeeze it out onto a tray and dip it in lightly, because you get too much. If you do it directly on your eye, you get too much out, unless you've got a very trained hand, and most of us don't. I don't, and I think I know it all. So I know you would probably have a problem with it too. So I can't recommend this concealer, especially if you're older or if you have dry eyes with lots of wrinkles and folds, you know, the little cracks and seams and things you have in your eyes, under eyes. So I'm wearing this on this side. And on this side I'm using the Almay. This is Almay Ageless Hydrating Concealer. Let me just get close so you can see. This one worked really nicely, actually. It wasn't as thick as this side. It didn't dry as patchy as this side, but it's not as much coverage either. So the two of these, I have to say, the Doll 10 was a fail. This one was okay. For drugstore, it was okay. The winning concealer has been, and God, I hate to encourage this, because you know, everybody who has a Facebook account, if you looked at makeup, you've gotten this ad for this where all the women are going nuts over this Fiera, and I discussed this last month as well, but I haven't been using it. I've been using it all month, so it has been a favorite. You know, but this is a wonderful concealer. Now they use it on the ads as a foundation, but I'm telling you, it's not going to last very long if you do that. It's a very good concealer. It reminds me a lot of the As Seen on TV, the cover-up concealer that they had maybe about 5 years ago. That was my favorite concealer of all time, and this reminds me of it, this Fiera. So yes, it's a good one. I have the shade Neutral Beige, or Beige as they say down south. Neutral Beige. Very, very nice concealer. That was a hit. For foundation, I did bite the bullet and I bought this Fenty. This is the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop. This is the stick cream foundation that we were all talking about. I did do a demo using this when I did the thing about the latte look for makeup. I use this as my makeup. Now the thing about this, and I'm just going to show you how beautiful that is, and that's a perfect match to my skin tone. Perfect match. Let me just show you again. This is a beautiful foundation. However, it got more beautiful after about an hour. It looked fabulous. I went to work and I'm working and everything. I was outside in the heat, came inside in the air conditioning, outside in the heat, inside in the air conditioning. Around 1 o'clock, I went in to check my makeup, you know, wash my hands, all that stuff. And I looked in the mirror and it had really broken down. It broke apart. It went into the lines on my face. It had broken down on my chin. It had broken down on my forehead. I didn't like it. It didn't last very long. And I'm really disappointed because I wanted to like it. I wanted to say good things about it. I like her. Rihanna and I were born on the same day, about 20 years apart. I really liked it. I'm so sorry I can't recommend it. And as much as it looks really beautiful, I've got it on today, it just doesn't last and it breaks down. If you have older skin with a lot of wrinkles, dings and dents, it went into all my dings and dents right in this area underneath and in my chin line. We all have the chin crease there, but right in here especially, it just went right into the lines. And I put it on with my fingers. I tried it with a sponge. I didn't like it. I didn't like the consistency. Even she in the ad says no tools needed, and they swiped it on and they rubbed it in with their hands. So that's the way she wants you to apply it. Not with a brush, not with a sponge, with your fingers. Now I tried it with a sponge, I tried it with a brush. The brush gave me smear marks. The sponge didn't really, it took extra product to sponge it in, and I didn't think it looked as nice. The fingers were the best method, but it didn't last. And I'm so sorry that it didn't. Yeah. So this is, it's not going back. It's too late now. I don't have the receipt. So yeah, it's too bad because I did like the look of it, and I don't think I've had such a perfect skin match. This is shade 4. It's the perfect skin match. If you are medium light, closer to the light, this is the perfect color, neutral. What I did use a lot at the powwows and stuff is the Misha. This is the Perfect Cover BB cream, and I used the BB cream from Herborian to mix in with it to give it a little bit of a warmer color, because I always think these Misha products are gray toned. And I think it's because they have kind of a built-in color corrector for the audience it was created for, which is over in Korea, where there's a warm tint to people's skin tones. This balances it out and neutralizes their skin tone color. So I think that that's why Korean products tend to be kind of gray. You can work them out. A lot of people, this is their favorite foundation. It worked really nicely for me at the powwows. I mean, those are things where you arrive in the morning, like 10 o'clock or so, you walk around outside, you're looking at all the vendors and stuff, and then the main grand entry takes about half an hour or so, and then you've got dance contests in the afternoon, and those take a few hours in between all of them, the judging, the different events, and you got to eat, you're outside again, you know. So, and then in some cases you're walking back to your car out in the sun as well, so you have to wear a hat and comfortable shoes. So I'm hobbling away with my, you know, with my stuff that I bought. I bought some cool stuff. Yeah, these two things together. The Herborian's very expensive to use it on its own, and I got too deep of a shade. I got the medium shade. They have a light, a medium, and a deep. The deep isn't really that deep though. And I always hate to kind of support a brand that doesn't seem to have deeper shades, but I think these are the shades that are shown for the American market. I wish they would have a deeper shade for be a little bit more inclusive. This medium shade is just a little bit too dark for me, but it's nice and warm, so blending it into the gray stuff makes a perfect cover. Now this is like 50 SPF, this is like 50 SPF, you know, and I think it's close. It's probably close in coverage. I never had any sunburns from using this. So I think it's a wonderful combination. Yes, the Misha is, I think, better than most of the foundations that are coming out right now. And I've had a love-hate relationship with this. I think because of the grayness, I've never liked it, but it never dawned on me to mix something else into it so that it wouldn't be gray. And it works nicely. So I wanted a more neutral shade of cream blush to go with my latte look, and I went to e.l.f. And if you can see the difference, this is the Turks and Caicos, this is Maui. And Maui has a nice kind of more neutral, natural pink, nude sort of shade. Let me just put it here, blend it in. So it's a really pretty neutral pink shade. This is a very natural looking blush. Turks and Caicos is a very bright summery blush. This looked really nice through spring and summer for me. I'm switching over to the more muted Maui shade for fall and winter. Also for the latte makeup special, the e.l.f. the e.l.f. Contour palette. I'd had so many of these over the years since it came out, and I just had so many other products. I just hadn't had it for a while. I hadn't used this in a while, and this is the Contour, and this is the light one. There is a deeper shade one for deeper skin tones, but this shade matches perfectly the Kevin Aucoin contour powder, which, you know, was very famous, came out in a single unit, and it was a very popular item for the Kevyn Aucoin line. And then, you know, they have like a face powder here, and they have a very light sheer kind of highlight here, but this is a perfect contour palette. This bronzer is on the warm side. It blends in nicely with my medium light skin tone, and the powder is okay. You know, the powder is the only thing in here. It's not that great. You can use it to erase mistakes that you made in your eyeshadow, you know. So there's a use for everything in this palette. And I think this is a real good bang for your buck. You've got a nice contour, you've got a nice bronzer, you've got a nice shimmery, very subtle highlight in this. And that is the e.l.f. Contour Palette. Really wonderful. It's been years. It's an old friend. And another old friend, Wet n Wild. This is the Blossom Time, or Blossom Glow. Blossom Glow. This is a very shiny sort of shimmery. Let me just put it on this side. Really, really pretty. It's kind of a peachy, cool peachy toned highlighter. So I really love this. Now I'm going to show you this. Now I'm going to talk about this Brighten Up from Essence. I was really pleased with this, and it really does, especially under your eyes. It brightens up without flashback, which is really nice. And it's inexpensive, you know, it's really nice to have something like this. You know, with everybody sneezing, with allergies and everything else, it's nice you can just go over this, and, you know, where you were sneezing, your nose is all red and pink. And I noticed a lot of YouTubers have pink noses on the undersides. They don't notice it, but I see it in everybody who does this. And there's a lot of famous YouTubers who, they do all their makeup and everything, looks great, and then under their nose is all red. And it's like, you missed it. You missed a spot. So this is good for that, you know, because I also sneeze and everything all summer long. But really, really nice. This is the Brighten Up powder. It's a pressed powder from Essence. I really like it. Now I got to lodge a complaint here, and you know my girl, Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte Tilbury. Darling, you changed the scent. Darling, this doesn't smell spicy anymore. It smells flowery. It might as well be any other scent. One of the reasons I love the airbrush setting spray from Charlotte Tilbury is that it had a spicy, kind of a pepper smell to it, rather than flowery like some of the others do. I was really disappointed that this smells different. And it's just this new, this was from 6 months ago. I bought it Christmas time. And I hadn't used it because I had an older one I was getting rid of, you know. Now I just switched over to this one. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, you know. It's not the spice anymore. Oh, I'm so disappointed, really. I'm not going to buy it anymore. And it's too long. Okay, now speaking of the latte makeup look, I was in Ulta the other day, and they had just set this display up. There was no sample yet where you could look at the shades in life, you know, and it was the Juvias place. It was its own end cap kind of separate thing, and it's called the Coffee Shop. I thought, oh good, that, you know, latte makeup, isn't that great? So there's nothing on the box that says anything about what the shades are that are in this, you know, nothing. Couldn't find anything. It did say that there were 3 shades in it that were not, they were pressed pigments, and they were not recommended to be used around the eyes. So it says shades 1, 6, and 7. So I opened up the palette, and I opened it up in the store and looked at it. I did buy the one I opened up, just so you know. But which one do you think is shades 1, 6, and 7? they going down here, going across here, going across here. I couldn't figure out which shades they were talking about that were pressed pigments. But what I do know is that wherever they had this made, it's not the same place where they had their other shadows made, or it's a different formula. These were so cheap, I was shocked. There's a little bit of smell of, not crayon, but I'm so unhappy with this. So it's going back. I'm returning it. Juvia's place, the coffee shop, I wanted to love this, and I'm so disappointed. Another disappointment, and I've been using it now for a couple of months. Doll 10, same thing. It looks like it would be like the perfect neutral palette, and I had considered using this for my latte look, but I couldn't get it to blend very well. I tried different brushes, I tried, finger technique, and I really couldn't get this to work all that well. You could get one eye look out of it, really nothing else. Not very much pigmentation here. You can see right through my finger here. Didn't last at all. And a lot of people love this, and I know one of the shades was actually named for Jen Phelps. I think the shade was named for Jen Phelps. So it's awkward, but I don't like this at all. And Dollsquad 2.0 from Doll 10. Everybody hyped it that it was the perfect neutral palette and it was great quality. I don't think so. I think it's kind of chalky and patchy. Yeah. No. No. So that was another disappointment. I went to TJ Maxx and I saw this, and I think I might have even reviewed it before, but this was also very patchy and awful. It looked like it had a lot of potential, really good, interesting colors, for neutral looks, fall looks. This is Hello Sweetness from Beauty Concepts Cosmetics, which some of their smaller palettes I found in the past to be pretty good, but this one, hard pan, hard to blend, patchy, hardly any payout. There's probably a lot of fillers in here. So this came from TJ Maxx. It was $5.99. So I would not recommend any of those. If they're all made in the same factory, I wouldn't recommend them. They also were selling the older version of the NYX Ultimate palettes, and this one was quite nice. I made some really pretty looks from this. Now this was the Ultimate palette called Ultimate Utopia, and it has some really nice shades in it. I worked with the pinks in this and the blues. It created a cute look. I think I can show you, I've got a picture of the looks I made with this. One on one eye, one on the other. And I usually shy away from those pinky coral shades, but I think it looked really nice. And it had a lot of shades in it that you could blend. The shades are, compared to the other palettes, this was, and it was $5.99. I think it was cheap from TJ Maxx. This is the older version. The newer version, you can see the lettering is different on the newer versions. This one is a really nice, the warm neutrals worked perfectly for I think I used this when I did my latte makeup video. Really, really nice. NYX shadows are not a disappointment. But what may surprise you is what's on my eyes right now. And let me just get up so you can see me close. What's on my eyes right now? LA Colors from the Dollar Tree. And I've given it a wear test and it lasts the whole day. It lasts the whole day. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? This one is the all-day wear, new and improved. They are. And it's just little 6 pans. And I thought they performed like high-end eyeshadows. Absolutely beautiful. And I got it at the Dollar Tree, LA Colors. And this is the, they number them, 8686. 8686. So bad. But I used all these colors, and that's all that's on my eye is these colors. It did that. It did that. Pretty cool, huh? Saving you money, always looking. And when I try things, I try them again later just in case they change the formula. And this paid out for me this time. For $1.25, you can have a nice glam look. For eyebrows, I tried 2 new products. One was Revlon. They had talked about this being a really good brow pencil. This is kind of the deep blonde shade. I have it right here. I have it on this side. Yeah, it works really well as a pencil. Really good color, nice spoolie. I think it worked really well, and I have that on this side. I also tried the Rare Beauty brow pencil. This is a nice spoolie on it. I didn't like it as well. It's very creamy, so although it filled in the sparse areas, it wasn't very good at drawing lines. And I actually prefer the Revlon to the Rare Beauty. I don't think that this was the greatest brow product compared to the Revlon one. And of course, you know, the NYX Micro Brow kind of beats everybody. But I thought I would give it a try, you know, and this is the Rare Beauty. I think this is the taupe or the deep blonde shade. Yeah, so that didn't work as well as it could have. This is Milani's Stay Put eyeliner, and I use this in the underside of my upper lashes. So basically, right underneath there. It's kind of coloring in that skin area around my eyelashes where they meet the flesh. So it deepens and darkens it, and it kind of extends out the length of my eyelashes because of that. And I think it's a great liner, the Milani. And it comes in black and brown, I believe, but I used it and it lasts pretty well. It lasts a full work day, in and outside. Outside where it's hot, sweating, humid. Inside where it's cold, air conditioning, teary-eyed sometimes. This worked really nicely. It did not budge. I did go back to basics here. I wanted to try the CoverGirl Clump Crusher since they went cruelty-free, because I knew that the formulation most likely had to change. Maybe not. I don't know. I compared it with the Fun Fest, their mascara from Benefit. It's not bad, you know. There is a little bit of a smell to it. I was really surprised. There's a little bit of a smell, chemical smell to it. It's not the best mascara on the market, but it works really well. It did last through one powwow outside, and it didn't leave dings on my upper lids, which is a good sign. It really doesn't have clumps, but in that same respect, it does not build your lashes with a lot of good volume either. It makes them long, it makes them a little bit fuller, but it doesn't give you a lot of volume. I like big old honking lashes, and it doesn't do that for me. It never has. So it's never been on my top list of mascaras, but I wanted to try drugstore mascara that I wanted to revisit, that I thought they might have changed it over time. It works nice. I'd say it's a good, medium, nice mascara. The FanFest mascara, it clumps up very easily, and it does the tarantula spider thing if you put too many layers on. You do have to use a lash comb with this. So when you put this on, I put a couple coats on, you need to take one of these things and go through and comb through to get those little nibbies off, because it gets nibbies in it, and I don't like nibbies on my mascara. So no, this didn't take the place of Thrive Cosmetics in my mind, but it's a nice mascara. It doesn't leave dings on your eyes, it doesn't flake, but it did have those little nubbies on my lashes, and even though it gave them a nice full big honking lash look, it's too messy looking. and it was messy, you know, as it got onto my lid. You know, I had to, like, you use a Q-tip, you know, and you try to have to do your eye makeup over a little bit where you messed up on the mascara. So it really wasn't that great. Now this mascara I'm very pleased with. I don't know its origins. I was watching, it might have been Risa Does Makeup, it might have been Samantha March, but somebody said they loved this Heimish mascara. And it's an Amazon thing, and I don't know if maybe a vendor had reached out and sent this to somebody. I don't know, does somebody just naturally know this brand? Is this a famous brand in like Austria or something? I don't know, but I thought I would give it a try because she raved about it so much, whoever it was. And it's Heimish mascara. It works really well. I've got it on today. It doesn't clump. It's got a nice, you know, half moon brush end on it. The wand is nice. The price is nice. It's a really, really good mascara. I'm just building up a little bit from what I'm on right now. Really, really nice. So this Heimish mascara, you can get it on Amazon. I'll link it below. I like it. I think it's perfect. I think it works better than the CoverGirl. It works better than the FanFest. It's a really nice mascara. What a surprise. And you know, I shouldn't worry about how it got into somebody's hands, that they talked about it so nicely. But by trying it myself, I do like it too. So it does work nicely. These are the Ardell. These are the little trio lashes. And what it is you put a little line of lash glue down, and then you just literally pull this out and you stick it on there, and it's there. I have 2 on each side. Just enough. It's just enough to be a little more glamorous than every day. And I used this Ioni lash glue, which is it's part eyeliner and part lash glue. This is from the Dollar Tree. It works just as well as the Kiss lash liner, just as well, and it's $1.25. So the Ioni, it's a brush. So you just make a little line right on your lash line there, and you literally just take the lash and you just stick it right on, and it holds for the day. I also push down on it a little bit with my fingers just to give it that little extra security. I like it very much. So these Ardell clump lashes, very, very easy to use. They stay really nicely. They're easy to apply with this stuff from the Dollar Tree. This is an easy glam look that you can do if you're scared to death of false lashes. This is a great alternative. So when I was wandering through the Walmart in Leominster, Massachusetts yesterday, I was in there, I happened to notice the guys had just finished breaking down a cosmetic display, and I went over to look at what it was because there was still makeup on the top left in part of the display that I'm sure they were going to box it up and send it wherever they send it. But in it was, they had the Jurassic World stuff. It was the Profusion and Jurassic World display with the dinosaurs on it. And they had all the accessory kits were left. They had 12 of those, and they were boxes, and they had the Amber Beauty blender, the 3 brushes, the mirror. I was like, wow, you know, I don't know how much it was because they took the things away that had the price tags on them, and they had this one lip plumper gloss left, which I bought, and they had about 5 liquid bronzers, which looked like little eggs, but they were liquid bronzers. They had phase 1 and phase 2, or tier 1 and tier 2. One was slightly deeper than the other. And they had, what was the other thing they had that I wasn't interested in? Oh, they had all of the neon eyeliners. So I like this. This is kind of odd. I have it on today. It is a kind of a burnt brownish nude color, and it is the Isla Nubla, which was the swamp, I think, isn't it? Isn't it the swamp? It's a click up though. You gotta click it from the bottom, and then when you put it on, there is a little bit of heat, just a little bit. Now it's got the slash marks on the top. Okay, I love their packaging for this, so cute. They got the slash marks here and on the top, and this is Isla Nublar, this shade. So let me just see if I can. This is the shade here. On the lips, it looks like a slightly deep nude shade, and you get a little bit of heat, just a little bit of heat. It doesn't hurt, a little bit of heat. I'm not sure if it made my lips bigger or not. They look good. It did not dry out my lips. I left it on for the day yesterday, and it did not dry out my lips. It was $2.50. And if I had known this, I think what it is they discounted them all like half price or something, but it's $2.50 for this plumping lip balm. So, you know, have a look around when you go into Walmart. See what happens to their displays, you know, after they break them down. Where do they put them? Look in their clearance rack. Sometimes at the end of an end cap, they'll have their clearance stuff there. So have a look and see if you see the Jurassic World stuff is all there now. And, you know, I kind of like the eyeshadow palette. It was okay. I didn't like all those glitters. You know, they had those pressed glitters in there. I don't have it anymore. I got rid of it. I'm minimalist now, you know, sort of. I'm sort of reluctant minimalist. So that was the Jurassic Park and Profusion lip gloss. Now, hands up, anybody buy anything at Ulta yet for their 21 Days of Beauty sale? I did. I got some MAC lipsticks. You know, it's been a minute, as people would say, since I bought Peach Blossom. This is like your perfect kind of neutral, shiny neutral shade. I did buy Come Over, which was a matte shade, and I actually returned it. Come Over looked like a nice spicy reddish nude kind of color, and I like the color, but it looks so terrible on my lips. The matte formula for MAC, I don't know what they're doing, but the matte formula was such a fail. I didn't get any of the matte shades. I returned the one I bought, and the cream sheen formulation, the luster, wonderful. But the matte, stay away from the matte if you have dry lips or if you have lines in your lips, because it exaggerates them. It was really horrible. Oh my gosh. And they did have Thanks It's MAC. Thanks It's MAC is a really nice kind of it's shiny, it's kind of it's almost like a duochrome to me, as far as it goes to a warm pink and then a pink and then a warm pink and then a pink. This is like the perfect natural looking shade. It's so pretty. So I like Sellout, I like Thanks It's MAC, I like Peach Blossom as far as nude, regular kind of tones. Sellout was nice, man. Sea Sheer is more of a red, and that is something that it's for people who don't want to wear red. So the MAC lipsticks, wonderful, great deal during that Ulta sale, which is now over. but that's what I bought from the Ulta sale. I didn't get anything else. I was sent in PR some more brushes. I don't know what it is, but all the brush companies are on me. This is an Armaniac, really nice case. I had a little problem with this line, and unfortunately, some of the larger brushes were a bit on the flimsy side, and I actually don't want to review them because I'd rather not say something bad. They did send them to me for review for free, and unfortunately I didn't really like them. So I can't recommend things that I wouldn't personally buy myself. I wouldn't personally buy this. So, you know, I have now filled my obligation to them to review those brushes, but unfortunately I don't think it's what they really want me to say. But anyway, let's go into hair, because I've had, you know, I've never been known for really healthy, good hair. I'm 65 years old. I have colored my hair since I was 15, when I used to put sun-in bleach in my hair. It's amazing I'm not bald, really. So I've been growing out my hair, and I've been using different products. And by the way, Olaplex, did you see the judge threw out all of the complaints for Olaplex except the original one person, and she has not been able to prove that it was Olaplex that caused her hair breakage. And it just looked like, to me, like people were going for a money grab at the expense of the reputation of a company, and it was a really shitty thing to do. Really, really. So good for you, Olaplex. You won, but hopefully you can recoup from this. And I think that it was a hard hit they took because of that girl doing that. There's nothing in Olaplex that makes your hair break, by the way, just so you know. Okay, speaking of hair, I've been watching this guy, the Blowout. He's an amazing person, much like, you know, some of the other guys who do hair on here that I admire. He talks about products in detail. He's had a salon for many years, and he has seen the best and the worst of hair care, and he just tells it like it is. And what he said was, you should use a good shampoo that cleans your hair. And don't worry about it repairing anything. Don't worry about keratin or anything. Don't buy a 2-in-1 that does shampooing and moisturizing. He said, just get something that'll clean your hair and scalp well. And I got, this is the Dove Derma Care Scalp, an anti-dandruff shampoo. It pulls off anything that's stuck on your scalp. It gets rid of excess product. I really like it. This is the Dove Derma Care Scalp. For conditioner, he said, just get a conditioner that's good for detangling, and afterwards, you know, the products that he talked about are important, but he said that the conditioner you use should just be something that moisturizes and coats your hair. So I use, this is the OGX Coconut Miracle Oil Conditioner, and I just put a little on, I rub it through all the ends, I hold it up with a clip on the back of my head in the shower, and then I do the rest of my showering stuff. And at the very end of my shower, I will unclip it and rinse it out. And what he said was a really good thing to do at that point was to spray your hair with this. This is the Color Fanatic from Pureology. This is a leave-in conditioner. And what this does is it seals in all of the magic that this put into your hair. Once your hair dries, it doesn't hold the moisture in. So you spray 3 or 4 sprays and work it into the ends of your hair, and it holds in what this moisture did. So that, he said, this is like the single most important product you can use, is the leave-in conditioner. Then when you are going to blow dry your hair or use a heat implement, put this on it, and this is the L'Oreal Sleek It Iron Straight Heat Spray. This is something, if you have any kind of a heat tool, a blow dryer, and I've just let my hair, like, this is just blow dried, but you can see it looks quite healthy. and shiny. This is my real hair. This is not a wig. I mean, everything looks better since I've been following his rules. You spray each section before you dry it with your brush, or if you're using a blow dry brush, pull a section out, spray it, and then put your blow brush through it. You know, you spray it first, and then you can, you know, pull this through, and you get a healthier look to your hair. When you are done with your drying and styling, then just a little bit of this oil, hair oil, just a couple drops in your fingers, wipe it through, and then wipe your ends with it, just your ends. And this will coat your hair and give it that healthy look. So again, I've never been known for my hair being like star quality, but as a 65-year-old person, my hair has, you know, it's fragile, it's, you know, thinning, it's, you know, been processed my whole life. I color it every 4 weeks, and I'm going to keep coloring every 4 weeks. I'm not one of these gray people. Sometimes I'll just let it naturally be, but I always make sure that I have my leave-in conditioner on, and then I squish it and let it dry in its little kind of waviness. And then I don't use any heat instruments, I just let it dry naturally. So I just wanted to talk quickly about artificial sweeteners. I was a Splenda girl. I used to put 3 Splendas in a coffee along with a little bit of cream, and it was just perfect to me. It was the perfect mix. I've been doing that for about 10 years. And I was having some health problems, and I went to the doctor, and they went over my diet with me because they couldn't figure out through the tests and things what was going on. And she thinks it was the sweeteners, the artificial sweeteners, because I have 3 or 4 cups of coffee every morning times 3. So I was using like 12 sweeteners in my coffee, and then I was using diet soda later in the day. There's artificial sweeteners in that. Some of the diet food that you buy, the sugar-free fudgicles and things like that, they have artificial sweeteners in them. So she asked me to cut out artificial sweeteners out of my coffee and try and see if that helped, and I'll be darned, I feel better. So it was hard to go back to sugar after being on artificial sweeteners because they're so sweet that when you put, like, you know, the same amount of teaspoons of sugar in as you do with the Splenda, it's just not the same. I got it down now to 3 teaspoons of sugar in a coffee with a little bit of cream, and I'm getting used to it. It's been almost a month, but I'm starting to feel better. At one point I thought, oh, I really miss my coffee and the way it tasted, and I was so used to it because for 10 years that was my coffee mix, you know. And I went back to the Splenda just for 1 cup to try it, and it was awful. I ruined my coffee taste buds. So I went back to the sugar, and I've been slowly tolerating it a little bit better, and it's almost starting to taste good again. So I do caution you, if you are using a lot of artificial sweeteners in your coffee or your drinks, your lemonades, anything like that, diet soda, you really may want to think about either going to the sugar version, I mean, if you really can't stand no sweetness, and then just work it down. Take it down a little bit. Next month I'm gonna use 2 sugars, and then possibly go down to 1 sugar if I can a month after that. I don't know if I can go there, but I want to try it because my health, it was very apparent to me I had some health issues, and I haven't had those health issues since I've done this. So I know there's a direct correlation. So anyway, on that note, I hope all of you have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. And I'm enjoying it. It's a nice sunshiny day today. I'll be editing for 4 hours after this, so I won't be outside enjoying it. And I will be back with you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate your time. Take care, everybody. Toodles.